Hey everybody, I just want to come on here and give my thoughts regarding TNA Lockdown 2026. Now that TNA has a monthly plan to the VIP, side to TNA Plus, now have full pay-per-view access to TNA shows. Before, $40 a pop per show or their yearly plan just didn't feel feasible to me. But adding $9 monthly for these shows definitely seems feasible. Um, TNA Lockdown was a good show. Was it a great show? I think the men and women of the roster worked hard. I do think the finishes fell a little flat, but let's get into it. The first match of the night was on the countdown to Lockdown with BDE and Rich Swann versus the Righteous. Nice little tag match. BDE is turning into quite a nice worker, given his start as a WWE 2K content creator to professional wrestler. He's a quick study. Rich Swan's always impressive. I've always liked Dutch and Vincent from their times in Ring of Honor on the Indies. Like I said, nice little tag match. The Righteous gets the win here, continuing their storyline with BDE. And we move forward to Trey Miguel wearing Spider-Man attire and with his Spider-Man entrance versus Agent Zero. This match wasn't bad, but it just was there. Miguel just came back. So Miguel gets the win here. Perfectly fine. We head on to the main show to a match that had no business going as hard as it did with Elijah versus AJ Francis. These men were crazy. Elijah got up on the top of the cage and walked it, a la Undertaker old school. Uh, he did the Big Boss Man, Hulk Hogan superplex spot for Saturday Night, MSG, Saturday Night's main event. Uh, it was nuts seeing a guys this size bouncing around. I know Francis got the name Top Flop Dollar for that infamous botch dive in WWE, but he was flopping in a good way for Elijah here. In the end, shenanigans ensue, and Francis gets the win. But Hometown Man comes out with the powder lace guitar, the Jeff Jarrett special, and Elijah gets the better of Francis. Like I said, all in all, these two men worked really hard, and I think they gave everyone a tough act to follow. Then we get the Knockouts Tag Team title match. We hear from Allie before the match saying that she has a partner because Rosemary's out. Rosemary is missing, quote unquote, out with an injury. So she has a partner, and that partner is the returning Kiera Hogan, who's been kind of MIA on the scene since her AEW exit. I thought the match was fine. The one thing I would say, though, is because they were doing the handcuff spots, it kind of took away from the actual finish of the match because the camera was focused on the outside and not the inside. So the finish felt a little flat. But Kiera Hogan and Ali retained the tag team titles. And the Elegance brand lives to fight another day, hopefully with and by Elegance capturing the television title this Thursday. At least they hope. Uh, we go then to what I felt was maybe my least liked match of the night. Moose versus Frankie Kazarian in an escape match. These two men work really hard. The Spanish fly off the top of the cage was nice, but I don't think it clicked. The story of the match was Frankie was trying to get the ire of Moose because Moose basically obliterated him within the first 5 minutes. So it's basically Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Mr. Man from St. Valentine's Day Massacre, '99. There was nothing wrong with it. I don't think it clicked as well as it could have compared to everything else we were gonna see later on in the night. But Frankie wasn't done. He would show up later. We'll get to that here in a second. We get Zion Brookside versus Elena Black. Really bloody encounter here. Uh, they were going for the hometown girl, overcoming and winning, but Black hasn't been a babyface that long, so she needs to struggle a little bit more. The finish Zion Brookside used powder to get a roll up in the win on Black. I thought the finish felt flat to me. Zion Brookside retains. Like I said, Black hasn't been a babyface that long, so she needs to struggle and fight a little bit more. And it definitely seems like Indy Hartwell is where we're going for Bound for Glory in October. But time will tell with that. We then go to Mustafa Ali and Jason Hodge. And man, these guys, they were leaving it all out there. Like the whole roster was all night, but these guys, the dive from Hodge, the pile driver spot that almost went wrong with Hodge was nuts. I think the storytelling with Ali and Hodge's family was really well done. Ali's come off like a real scumbag the last couple weeks with the stuff with his family. Really solid stuff. In the end, Mustafa Ali wins the international title from Jason Hodge after Hodge is so focused on clutching his daughter's toy that he sacrifices himself in the championship. I like the story told here. I know we're not done because Order 4 continues to disintegrate with Tasha Steele's now being on the other side of the new chief of operations. But Mila Moore. So, yeah, really good, really solid stuff. Then we go to the debut of Avery Styles, the son of AJ Styles. I thought what they did here was really good, really simple. Avery talks about his dad's history with TNA and how it's going to be part of his history to find himself. I have not seen this kid work. Heard good things. Have not seen this kid work. But there was discussion about nepotism and how he was getting doors opened. Just because you get the doors open doesn't mean you get to stay. There were plenty of second generation stars that did not stay just because they had a famous father. They got the opportunity, but they never got to stay. So just be aware of that. Frankie Kazarian comes out and interrupts Avery Styles. Frankie's going to be his first dance partner on the TNA roster. I can think of nobody better to actually get the most out of him, see what the kid is actually made of. Again, solid stuff here. We go to Cedric Alexander versus Leon Slater. Last man standing. Last man standing matches are always weird because the counts kind of cause the action to abruptly stop. I think this one found a good balance. In the end, Leon Slater vanquishes Cedric Alexander, winning the X Division title, but his night's not done yet. We then move on to Lethal Lockdown, and this stuff was just crazy. Got thumbtacks, got weapons, got overall craziness. What you usually can get in these matches. In the end, the system vanquished the new stars of TNA. I got a feeling we're going to get some sort of multi-man monsters ball match at Bell for Glory with the system and the new stars, where the new stars come out on top, but that's just me guessing. And then we get to the main event. The Nemeth, the World Heavyweight Champion Nick Nemeth, and Ryan Nemeth versus the Hardys. Given everything we've seen prior to this in the night, this felt a little lackluster. It was basically coasting on the Hardy nostalgia, and there's nothing wrong with that. But considering what came before, I don't think this felt like main event caliber to me. I have nothing but respect for that Jeff Hardy and all they put in, but their age is starting to show, I think. The Nemeth did their best to make it compelling, but I don't think it was as compelling as it could have been. In the end, the Nemeth become the new TNA Tag Team Champions. But before Nick Nemeth could celebrate, Leon Slater comes out and claims up he's going to cash in his X Division Championship match. Alright, X Division Championship to get a World Heavyweight Championship match at Bound for Glory. So we now have our first match set for Bound for Glory. We now need to crown a new X Division champion. And Nick Nemeth now has a challenger with a lot of bravado that's younger that is coming for his title. So all in all, a good show. There were some things that I thought could have been better. But all in all, a good show. TNA has really been on a nice clip of really good shows. The downside of the roster these days is all the talent releases, but everything is what everything is. But all in all, a good show. I would recommend you check out, especially the latter half. And AJ Francis versus Elijah. Again, that went harder than expected.